One of the biggest things I noticed about myself after menopause was that the things that used to motivate me didn't anymore. Some of the things I used to really enjoy suddenly felt flat and empty. My first thought was, what is menopause doing to me? Is it trying to steal away my joy? Or maybe there's something wrong with me. I was confused and scared. But now I am over 10 years post-menopause, and now I understand that menopause wasn't trying to take these things away. It was simply asking me to become a different kind of woman. And to make that adjustment, I would have to let go of the old ways of measuring myself before I could discover this new promise, this new way of living, this new woman. Today, I'd like to share why I think that the loss of motivation might actually be a perfectly normal sign that you are in the exact right place. Welcome to the Rebel Crone. This is Elisa, and around here, I simply love to question everything so that we can get to the root of perceived problems to find the real solutions. So think about this. From the time we are little, the world quietly hands us rulers, invisible measuring sticks. Am I productive enough? Am I attractive enough? Am I successful enough? Am I needed enough? Am I giving enough? Until one day, those old measuring sticks stop telling you what actually matters. Nothing has gone wrong. You have simply changed. The great transitions of life. I've noticed something, whether it's menopause, a spiritual awakening, raising children, divorce, retirement, or any major life transition. The pattern is remarkably similar. The old identity begins dissolving before the new one appears. It's like being in a chrysalis. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but inside, everything is reorganizing. I call this the creative void, and nature never rushes this stage. Imagine cutting open a chrysalis because you're impatient. You don't speed up the transition, the process. You interrupt it and probably destroy it completely. Only humans believe becoming should happen on a deadline, on their deadline, according to their agenda. So why do we panic during transitions? Because we keep measuring ourselves with instruments that no longer fit. I'm not as productive. I'm not as ambitious. I'm not as driven. Nobody really needs me anymore. Those thoughts don't necessarily mean you're becoming less. They often mean you're measuring the woman you're becoming with the ruler designed for the woman you used to be. So let's look at a ruler. It has one job. It measures from point A to point B. It assumes that life moves in a straight line. Accomplish this, reach that goal, move on to the next one. Get in your chrysalis, do your change, get out of your chrysalis. Super easy, let's go. But life doesn't unfold in straight lines, does it? It unfolds through changing seasons, unexpected storms, and landscapes we've never walked before. You wouldn't try to cross a mountain range using a ruler. You wouldn't try to sail across the ocean using a ruler. What do you use? You use a compass. Life is not asking you to become someone else. It's just asking you to navigate differently using a different tool. As I went through menopause and I started using my compass, my questions started changing. Instead of asking, how much have I accomplished? I began asking, what direction feels true to me? Instead of asking, what should I be doing? I started asking, what is life inviting me toward? That was a big shift. I stopped trying to measure my progress and started learning how to orient myself in a totally different way. Instead of from the outside looking in, it was from the inside moving outward. Instead of chasing motivation, I started listening. Instead of following expectations, I began feeling what is true for me, deeply true. And over time, life slowly began making sense again. Not because I suddenly had all the answers, but because I stopped asking the old questions and using that old ruler. Every transformation in life quietly asks us to exchange our instruments, not simply to trade one measuring stick for another, but to move from outside in living to inside out living. The ruler asks, how do I measure up? The compass asks, what direction is true? One looks for approval, the other looks for alignment. So in closing, maybe you haven't lost your motivation at all. Maybe you've simply reached a place where the old way of measuring life no longer fits to the person that you're becoming. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, try asking what is trying to guide me. Maybe this season of life isn't asking you to accomplish more. Maybe it's asking you to become more deeply yourself. Because rulers, as I said before, measure distance. Compasses find direction. And life is not a straight line. It's an ever-changing landscape. There will be mountains. There will be storms. There will be rough seas, wide open valleys. Moments when the path completely disappears. A ruler can't help you there, but a well-loved compass held quietly in your hands can. I have a feeling that's exactly what this season of life is inviting you to discover. I hope this video is giving you a new way of looking at this loss of motivation that frequently occurs during our midlife transition. This is the Rebel Crone. Peace and blessings from within, because that's where it starts, that's where it ends, that's the whole blessed, beautiful journey of life. So ladies, pick up that compass, learn how to use it. It's well worth it, because this is the new terrain that you are entering in midlife, one that requires inner orientation to move through it successfully, peacefully, and with lots of joy.